Okay, Dr. Murray, Uncivilized Vitality, and this is one of my book recommendations. This is, my glasses, recommending this month, well, a couple, is the 20th anniversary edition of Amusing Ourselves to Death. This is by Neil Postman, Public Discourse in the Age of Show Business. What's interesting about this book, this came out 2006. This was published, so that's the 20th anniversary edition over 14 years ago. So this is a 30-year-old book, and you wouldn't think that this would be a book I'd recommend for a perspective on today's over-reliance on media, because this was obviously written before the internet was widely available to most people. This is a book about television and the horrendous effects that television has had on our society. Civilized us even more, probably more than anything. Television was one of the things that has civilized us faster and faster toward the end of the last century, and now screens are ubiquitous, they're everywhere. So let's go through this. There's an introduction to the 20th anniversary edition. Part 1, the medium is the metaphor, media as epistemology, typographic America, typographic mind, the peekaboo world. That's just part 1. And in that he talks about how the image has come to dominate our public discourse and the way we communicate with each other. And was it memes? So the little memes, the little jokes, or memes, or however you want to say it, memes. I like memes. They're funny, but they require a whole bunch of information that's conveyed in image form with very little text usually, and you either get it or you don't get it. If somebody explains it, we've gotten to the point where we're communicating primarily through memes. You get some pretty deep ideas across. We're almost going all the way back around to cave paintings, I would think. You know, I see cave paintings, a little stick man and a stick woman and stick children drawn on the wall of a cave, and like an outline of a horse and things. You look at it and you think, wow, that was really crude. But maybe they were super advanced, and that was they got to the meme level, and they were just relaying a bunch of information with those simple little drawings. This is definitely worth reading if you are at all concerned with the level of influence that the internet has on your children. We're going to talk about this specifically in the UV Kids program coming up in 2024. One of the things I wanted to read to you in here talks about how is a book on social commentary published 20 years ago going to impact what you're doing now when you're as busy checking out websites, sending text messages, IMing, TiVoing. So we don't even TiVo anymore. It shows you how dated the book is already. Now you've got to stop and read a book that first appeared in the last century, not to mention the last millennium. All right. Like your outlook today could seriously be rocked by this plain-spoken provocation about the world in 1985. A world yet to be infiltrated by the internet, cell phones, PDAs, probably don't even know what that is, cable channels by the hundreds, DVDs, call waiting, caller ID, blogs, flat screens, HD TV, iPods. See, this book is already dated. It came out in 2006, which is already almost another 20 years. We're over 30 years since the book, almost 40 years since the book was written. Jeez, getting up there. Anyway, I thought the book was super interesting and prescient on what was happening now. He saw this happening with the advent of television. The back says, television has habituated us to visual entertainment measured out in spoonfuls of time. But what happens when we come to expect the same things from our politics and public discourse? What happens to journalism, education, and religion when they too become forms of show business? Let's see. Is it really plausible that this slim volume, with its once urgent premonitions about the nuanced and deep-seated perils of television, could feel timely today in the age of computers? Is it really plausible that this book about how TV is turning all public life, education, religion, politics, journalism into entertainment, how the image is undermining other forms of communication, particularly the written word, and how our bottomless appetite for TV or screens, the internet, he could amend that, will make content so abundantly available, context be damned, that we will be overwhelmed by an information glut until what is truly meaningful is lost, and we no longer care what we've lost as long as we're being amused. And that is the gist of this book. And it's really, excuse me, enlightening to read this book that's nearly 40 years old. So perfectly describes what's happening today. People have access to, theoretically, endless amounts of information with the internet, but we've ceased reading. Bookstores have gone out of business. Whole chains, Borders Books went out of business a few years ago. I still weep about that. We're left with Barnes and Noble, but that's about it. And fewer and fewer people pick up books. Amazon started out as an online bookseller, and now they sell anything and everything, and incidentally still sell books. But there's a different sort of communication that happens with the written word. You have to be more thoughtful for the way you express things in written form. Everybody just wants to watch a quick video. I'll put these YouTube videos up, and I've already heard from a lot of people that, hey, Dr. Murray, why don't you just do the shorts or the little 1-minute videos that are more popular? Because now people can't even sit through a 5 or 10-minute video. They just watch a little bit and then they click off. All right, I don't want to go too far afield. My recommendation is you read this book. This is one of the reasons that I developed the Uncivilized Vitality, the program of becoming less civilized so that you become happier and healthier as a result. Get out, socialize, read books, severely limit your time on the screens. And this author, Neil Postman, does a great job of explaining why more eloquently than I usually do. To my children, when I tell the boys that's too much screen time or that's enough time to get outside. The irony of me telling you that on this YouTube video is not lost on me, but what are you going to do? Check this out, Neil Postman, Amusing Ourselves to Death. Very, very relevant book. All right, so that's my Uncivilized book recommendation for early December 2023. Read this over Christmas. I mean, this is a quick read. It's just a couple hundred pages. You can knock this out in a lazy morning. So check that out, and then stay tuned for more videos. And I will, again, as soon as I can, update the lighting and the microphone in our new building so you can get some better quality videos. So like and subscribe and share, and let me know in the comments what you think about the book.